Here's number 2. Fight like God is helping you win. Fight, fight, fight like God is helping you win. You see what he said? Moses commanded Joshua, choose some men to go out and fight. Fighting is an interesting thing because before we really come to know Jesus Christ relationally, before we become a Christian, before we give our hearts to him and invite him to forgive us and fill us and begin to live through us, the Bible teaches that we're actually in a fight with God. We're already in a fight. The fight is with God. He's against our sin, and he's for us, and he's trying to get us to forsake it and turn to him and be forgiven. That's what's trying. But we're still in a fight with him. Once we trust Jesus, now the fight turns, and now it's us and Jesus against sin, difficulty, hardship. It's a fight that now is empowered by the Holy Spirit. Now God is helping us fight, and we need his help to keep fighting. What we really need is both of them together. We need prayer-fueled action. We don't just act, and we don't just pray. And some of us are good at one or the other. There's some who like, oh, honey, I got time to pray. I got to get out there and do the thing. Come on, somebody, let's go. And there's others like, well, hey, let's be careful. Let's just pray a little bit longer. And we need both. We need the actions to be filled up with the fuel of prayer. That's how it's going to work. That's how we're going to get the victory. It's prayer and action together. I looked at some places in the New Testament where we're commanded to fight. You want to hear what they are? Here's one. 1 Corinthians 6:12 says, we're to fight the fight of faith. We're to fight for it. That means if something traumatic happens to us, maybe we get really discouraged, maybe something happened that we just never expected to happen, and we're kind of wounded, and we're carrying that around, and we got some shrapnel in us. And man, it's just hard to even keep going. And part of us begins to wonder, gosh, should I even do this at all? Is this what I get for following God? And it's that moment we need to fight the fight of faith. We say, no, I'm gonna step back into Jesus. I'm gonna believe when everything tells me not to believe, and I'm gonna get his help to get this shrapnel out and not just live with it in. I'm gonna forgive, I'm gonna overcome, I'm gonna press on and press in. I'm gonna fight the fight of faith. I'm not just gonna give up. I know they let you down. Well, he didn't let you down really, ever. So let's fight the fight of faith. 1 Corinthians 9:25 says, we fight for self-control. Gotta fight for it. Our world right now says, don't fight any kind of like freedom. Just give yourself to anything, every impulse you've got. Jesus says, no, I've given you a spirit of self-control so that you stay out of danger. There are things that if you just on a whim wander into, dude, you can do that in 10 minutes, and it can take 10 years to get over that thing. Yeah. So careful. Let's fight for self-control. And that might even be something as simple as, you begin to notice at work, if I was a little unethical in this area, I could make more money on this. There's a way for me to leverage this for me. It's a little bit unethical, but who's going to know? Who's going to care? No, fight for self-control in that moment. And self-control really is spirit control, asking the Holy Spirit to fill us. 2 Timothy 4:7, fight to finish the course. Fight to finish the course. Well, there's a lot of courses. There's the course of, maybe you're a student and you're about to finish your course in school. You're about to graduate. Well, finish well. Don't just finish. Finish strong in Jesus. Do it that way. Maybe you're about to finish a job. You're about to, you're going to move soon, and there's an opportunity just to relax, or you can finish well. You can do this thing, baby. Maybe you're on the last stage of parenting with a certain kid, and we want to say, man, it's not just I want to, get them on. I want to finish well what I started. I want to pay attention. And then, of course, life. Maybe some of us are getting closer than we think. Others of us can see it coming. Wherever we are, hey, listen, you've come all this way. You've come so far. It's just a little bit longer. Faithful by the power of Jesus, a little bit longer. Hang on, fulfill the calling, finish the course, end well. Luke 13:24 says, fight to go the narrow way. Fight to go the narrow way. Baby, the path is wide that leads to destruction. Fight to go the narrow way. I mean, there's all kinds of hell that breaks loose when we just go any which way. Fight to go the narrow way. Maybe you're gaining influence on social media. And I can do certain things that will trigger likes that God might not approve of, but I know more people will like it. I get monetized. I start to make more money. I become more and more of an influencer. That's a good thing. No, instead of that, choose the narrow road and say, I'm gonna do things God's way, and God gets to raise me up if he wants to. Because that'll be the best doggone will for my life. How about helping others grow? We fight to help others grow, according to Colossians 4:12. That means I see an opportunity where somebody would benefit from my influence, and I could just say, well, God will send somebody else, or I can fight and say, no, I'm here. I'm fashioned for a fight. I'm here to help. I'm here to make sure somebody else knows Jesus, either the way somebody helped me or the way somebody didn't help me, but I wish they would have. We step in and help. And once we've done all that, pray, fight. We raise up the staff, which was not just a tool of power, it was a representation. It was a banner. Moses built an altar there and named it Yahweh Nisi, which means the Lord is my banner. Now, in Moses' day, we think of cloth banners. That really wasn't what they meant necessarily. You could lift up anything and say, I'm fighting in the name of this thing or this God. If I held up Thor's hammer, I'd be like, we're gonna win in the name of Thor. I'm waving the banner of Thor. You're not gonna win in the name of Thor, by the way. But if I did, that would be me raising the banner, saying because of Thor's power of his hammer, that's how we're gonna win. Moses raises up this altar and says, God did it. God did it. We don't take the credit for it. God did it. Sometimes we need to do that for ourselves because we forget that God did it. This is I've got this one particular note that I put in various places in my Bible. So as the year goes by, I'll hit this like 4 times. And it's just a list of the major trials that I've been through in the last 20 years and how God delivered me from each and every one. And they were the kind of trials that's like, oh, this will probably be over by tomorrow or next week. No, this is like, I don't know how God is going to get me out of this. This seems hopeless. Well, after time, those things stack up. And then you read those and you're praising God to yourself. Remember what God did? You remember this altar? You remember what God did over here? Are you psycho? You think he's not going to come through again? You don't think it's the same God? And then we build an altar for everybody else. And we hold up the banner and we say, by the way, if someone's giving you props, someone's giving you a compliment, well, you kept going, I think that's really awesome. Or I can't believe you get to do that. Or isn't that awesome? Your marriage looks so great. When they do that, you say, well, I appreciate that, but can I just tell you, I would have been lost if it wasn't for God. Like God did that. So just so you know, I don't want all the credit because Jesus, if the Lord had not been on my side, we would have completely been in despair and destroyed. But the Lord was on my side. And guys, you don't have to be a kook, but I really think it's time. It's the day and age where quit censoring that thing, man. If someone points out something that's going good, say, hey man, I'm not trying to be weird to you. I'm just telling, for me, that's God for me. God did that. That's the God I know. And I'm super pumped about him. Give him the praise that he deserves. The adversity that impedes our progress teaches us to pray and to push. Next week, we're gonna dive into the wisdom that everybody needs to share and the wisdom that everybody needs to hear, especially men on Father's Day, but also all the ladies. So we got some choices here, guys. We can face unexpected difficulty with anxiety, with exhaustion, or we can step in with faith-filled prayer and prayer-fueled action and see what God won't do. Remember, he didn't say there wouldn't be challenges. He says, I will be who I've been to your fathers and your mothers. I'll be that God to you. So let's make the decision today. I think some of us need to invite Jesus into the prayer time. Maybe you've been kind of praying at Jesus. It's not that he doesn't appreciate that, but that's a level before you get to intimacy with Jesus. Jesus, teach me to pray. Teach me to rub on those suds. Teach me who you want me to reinforce and how. Make it relational, not just some kind of rote experience that I do. And give me power in this fight. Show me the battles to fight. Show me the things that you want to conquer now. You want me to remember that I'm a new man, I'm a new woman. We can do this. I invite you in, Lord. And then, when he does it, lift the banner high and say, you know who it was? It was Jesus. Jesus did it for me. And Jesus